Hello and welcome
to Sort of the Story.
I'm Janey.
And I'm Max.
And this is the podcast where we tell each other stories like fairy tales and folktales and mythology.
And also, you
are
are
here. Welcome.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. There was a moment, Max, where I pressed record and a couple seconds went by and you were looking at your notes and then you looked up and I smiled and you smiled and then we immediately went into our podcast personas. And I realized, wow, we've been doing this for 4 years.
Wow.
It's like when you have somebody going live on the news and they like are reading their notes and stuff like that and they look up and they're like, today on the news, we have like suddenly a weird announcer voice. Anyway,
That's us.
That's us. So professional.
I love that for us.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast.
Hi. It feels like it's been 100 years.
Max, it has been 100 years.
I got Rip Van Winkled.
Max got a little bit Rip Van Winkled, which I recently found out doesn't mean 100 years went by. Apparently it's only 20 years.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I got quadruple Rip Van Winkled.
The quadruple Rip Van Winkled.
The quintuple. Yeah.
You know, and I had a pretty wild night. I'm kind of tired. Last night I took a couple guys home and they quadruple Rip Van Winkled me. They made me sleep for 4 times as long as everyone else. 5 times. Quintuple.
5 times.
Goddamn. Not even I could take that much Rip Van Winkling.
Nope.
Girls gotta sleep.
Yeah.
For 100 years.
Girls gotta sleep for 100 years.
What's up, Max?
You know, there's a lot. There's a lot going on.
You don't have to, but do you want to give them a quick update?
Yeah.
Because we might skip next week's release. And if we do, here's the explanation.
Yeah. We have some sad news. Our very, very stinky co-host, Francis, passed away. It was not sudden. It was something that we knew was coming for about a year. He had congestive heart failure and he had a heart attack. And I made the decision to put him to sleep, which was a very hard thing to do. But it was the right thing, and I feel very comfortable about it. I miss him so much, but that is what happens, and I am coping with it, and we are going to miss him a lot. But
it was very eye-opening to me to see how calm you were throughout it. Because I know that you were panicking a little bit, too, because it's a panic-inducing thing. But if you guys have ever lost a pet, the worst part is having to make a decision eventually of, like, what's the kindest time to do this? That's not shortening your lifespan, but also that is not going to let you go in pain or fear. And you made that choice, and I was very impressed with it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was one of the hardest things I've ever done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But, you know, Francis, we spent a long time in a vet waiting room sitting there holding him and playing Smash or Pass on a dog photo book. Not on the dogs, on the owners holding them. Some of them who were in the nude. What a weird vet book.
Yeah, a lot of people in the nude posing with their pets, which I just feel like you shouldn't do that.
Or should we be doing more of that? While we still have the cats, should we have them covering our tits in the photo that we take as Sears?
You know, I'm going to go for a hard take and say no, I don't think we should do that.
Yeah, but what if we have 3 cats? 1 for each boob and then 1 for the downstairs area?
Well, we do have 3 cats.
Like a cat bikini.
I don't think we should do that, though.
All right, well.
I mean, you can do that. I'll help you do that if you want to do that. I just don't want to do that.
Leaf against my jaw? Like Adam and Eve?
Yes.
All right, well, we have a plan.
A fig leaf.
A fig leaf. Oh, we also have a cat named Fig. God damn.
I have to make a decision.
Yeah, we're set up for this. Yeah, it was sad and beautiful, and the house was very empty without Francis, genuinely. So yeah, if that's what's happening. And Max, I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, very sad. Okay, we shared about it a little bit on the Discord, and everyone was very sweet about it. I'm going to share my favorite Francis pictures. Yeah, that's where we're at. And now we're all weepy. Okay, so that's the point, guys. If we are probably, I'm kind of making an executive decision, which, Max, you were so sweet. We literally came home from the vet just crying our eyes out. We sat around and you went, okay, maybe we record tomorrow. And I was like, no. And you were like, okay, yeah, we'll do it tomorrow. I was like, no, we're not going to record tomorrow. And you were like, if I feel okay, I'm pretty sure I can record tomorrow. I was like, no, that's not happening. And then we waited, and I had a friend come this week, and we were just like, who knows? So
yeah,
we didn't take a break for Christmas this year. So I feel like one in January is totally fine, and we have such nice listeners, they won't care.
Yes.
I might release a bonus episode. So if you already pay for the boner episodes, you're going to have to be okay with sharing one, because maybe it'll get more people to look at our boners.
We have to be careful, though, because we're...
You want me to go through and edit? You want me to go through and edit out the questions at the end?
No.
I'll listen first.
I think that's good. Let's listen to one on the way to Orlando.
Yeah, and then see.
And vet it, yes.
Maybe we'll listen to the first one and then see if we can... Yeah, good.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it. You're hearing us plan in real time, but it'll already have happened for you probably.
Yes. And then Janey's friend Sven from her time in China came to visit this weekend, and we had a very fun time with him.
Guys.
And we found out that he's an avid listener of the podcast, which I didn't know.
Sven is all caught up on the podcast.
ACU Club.
Sven's in the ACU Club. Yeah, I had a friend visit from when I lived in China, and he's one of my favorite people on earth. He's just from a time in my life where I was meeting the coolest, funniest, most interesting people from all over the world, and Sven was like a huge part of that. Sven taught me a bunch of stuff about storytelling that I didn't know was possible. I didn't know that you could just hang out with your friends and host storytelling nights. Guys, did you know you could do that?
Yeah.
You could just host storytelling nights, which were amazing. We did them at a bar that our friend owned, and yeah. He knew Summer when he was just a puppy. Like, he got to, like, reconnect with Summer.
Yeah. I've heard stories about Sven for years, so I was thrilled to finally be able to meet him. And he exceeded expectations. He was a delight.
Just a delight. Just a sweet, funny person. So, if you knew me back then, come visit.
Yeah.
Except for that one Polish guy that wouldn't shake my hand. You can never visit.
Fuck you, dude.
Yeah. You know, you meet all types. All right.
One other piece of news.
Yeah. Okay. So for Christmas, I got a new computer. And she's beautiful.
She's very beautiful.
So guys, just so you know, we are on our last leg of this podcast because everything went around my MacBook Pro from 2013. And I had been using it since 2013, which means that it was on its last leg. Everything was broken. I only had one little USB port that was working that we could use the mics for. It was a nightmare. Everything was very slow. And we knew that if this computer broke, then the podcast was dead.
Yes.
And I got a new computer for Christmas. Thank you to my parents. So if you listen to the podcast and you like it, you need to thank my parents.
Yeah. Thanks to Jane and Rodney.
Mm-hmm. But the package said from Santa.
Oh, thanks to Santa.
Because my parents
mistake.
My parents, even though we're adults, don't do Christmas presents from them. All of the Christmas presents from them are from Santa.
Cute.
Yeah.
I was considering going to visit my parents for Christmas, and then I ended up not. So I'm going to have a little mini Christmas at the end of January when they come down to visit.
So wonderful.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Also, by the time this comes out, we will have already gone and been back. But we were invited to attend a podcasting conference, Podfest, in Orlando, Florida.
Podfest 2026.
So we are going to that this week, which we're very excited about.
Basically, guys, this podcast is about to get super fucking professional.
Yeah, we got business cards and everything.
Max made business cards and everything. Yeah, we're about to network. We're going to learn how to fucking monetize.
It's going to be crazy.
There's a bunch of stuff about making podcast books.
Podcast books.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of things that are like, want to turn your podcast into a book? And genuinely, guys, I kind of want to turn it. After talking to Liz, it made me desperately want to write a book.
Yeah.
Liz inspired the shit out of me.
I love that.
I also want more guest spots. If you guys know any podcasts that you're like, I love them, and they should do a guest spot with Janey and Max, or Janey and Max should be on their podcast, can you let us know? We'll reach out.
Absolutely.
We can just do that.
Or literally anything that you want from us, just tell us.
I want to have you guys on the podcast more. I loved, if you guys listened to the Boner episode where I told the story of the Caribbean Rapunzel, we had Allison on, who is from our Discord, who's a licensed therapist, and she talked about like what she as a therapist saw with the mother from Rapunzel. And it was a really fascinating conversation.
Yeah.
And we have a wildlife expert who I was like, one day we're going to have her on to like weigh in on some of the wildlife that we see in fairy tales.
Yes, absolutely.
If you have an expertise that you're like, genuinely, this shows up every once in a while in the fairy tales, like I'm a blacksmith and I'm tired of you guys getting it wrong, I want to hear from you. We want to have you on the podcast as weighing in as an expert.
Yes, please. We love you guys so much and we want to hang out with you. So,
and the way that
any excuse to do that.
Any excuse. And the way that you do that is by emailing us at sortofthestory@gmail.com with, hi, my name is so-and-so. I was listening to episode 172 and I am an expert in this. Would love to chat.
Yeah.
And we'll email back and forth and we'll see if it's a good fit or if we can find a story that fits that.
Yes.
Or maybe if you just want to send in a voice note and we'll just put it in the podcast.
Or whatever. We're literally so accessible to you. DM us on Instagram.
Yeah.
Just let us know. Even if you're not sure if you have a skill, just be like, hey, what's up? Here's some things I can do. And we'll see if we can find a fit.
Yeah. We want to hang out with you guys more in 2026 because we love ya. And you know what? I can think of one other really good way to hang out with them in 2026.
Oh, Janey, what a setup.
It's going to be so much more professional even than this after we go to that conference.
Can you even believe?
And we learn how to podcast.
Guys, if you want to hang out with us more in 2026 and you're not a part of our Patreon, join us on Patreon.
Do it!
For $3 a month, you get access to the Discord, which is where we hang out with all of our listeners. It's how we got to know Allison and how we got to know Maria, our wildlife expert, and a bunch of other fantastic and amazing and perfect people who we adore with all of our hearts. So you can join into that community. It's super fun. It's super chill. And we love it. For $4 a month, you get access to the Discord and we're your girlfriend.
And I have to say, we have a new girlfriend. Their name is Emma Haddon.
Emma.
They joined 2 days ago. And Emma, welcome to the girlfriends. What's up?
Hi, Emma.
First of all, we think you're so pretty. Hold on. We don't know yet. I have to find your profile. Okay,
well, we're your girlfriend, so obviously we think you're pretty.
Okay, it's super teeny tiny, but it looks like you have kind of purple hair. You're gorgeous. God, we love you. We also think you're cool and you're like funny.
A secret perk of the girlfriend tier is that if you send us a picture of you, we'll tell you how beautiful we think you are.
We'll tell you all the things we think that are beautiful about you. Also, we think that our moms would love you. So like, when we take you home to meet the parents, they're going to be like, marry that person.
Yes.
Emma. You have potential. We may show you our boner. Is that inappropriate? This is episode 170. This is a main feed episode. Boners are bonus episodes. I'm not sexually harassing anyone.
Or for $7 a month, you can get access to the Discord. You can be our girlfriend.
Wow, wow, wow.
And also, you get access to a full-length boner every single month. Bonus episode of brand new content, never been heard before, unless we release it at another time, which could happen, but probably won't. So it's probably just a secret between you and me.
Me and you, or them and you?
Between them and me.
Oh. I hope I get it one day. Maybe I'll know.
$7 a month, Janey. That's what it takes. Pony up.
Damn it. Guys, can I borrow $7 a month?
And you know how you can get it to her?
How?
Subscribe on Patreon.
That's great. Help me out. Help a brother out. Okay, well, Max, excellent plugs.
Thank you.
I'd want to be our girlfriend if I was listening to this.
Yeah. How fortunate are we that we are each other's girlfriends?
That's so good.
Just a quick note, we're not each other's girlfriends, but we are each other's girlfriends, so.
How dare you? I thought we were girlfriends, but okay. Okay, well, with that excessively long intro that I will be trimming down, so right now it's at 22 minutes. How long was it for you guys?
Jeez, the freaking wheeze.
Yeah, you know what? It's fine. We haven't seen you in a while because we haven't recorded in a while.
We missed you.
We missed you. With that, Max?
Yeah.
Today is episode 172. You are going first this week.
I am going first.
Are you so excited to tell me a story?
Yes.
I'm so excited to hear it. All right, we're going to take a little break. It's going to last for like 1 second, maybe 2 seconds. And then when we come back, Max will tell me a story.
Yes.
And also you are here. Bye.
Okay, Janey.
Okay, Max.
The story that I have for you today is called The Rose Beauty.
Okay.
This is a story from Turkey, and I don't really know anything else about it.
Got it.
But it's in the collection Turkish Folktales, edited by Jake Jackson. It's one of the Flame Tree Publishing books that is a collection of folktales. I was able to find the free text of this online, so you can read the original version of the story. Mm-hmm. I'm realizing that I straight up could have researched this and didn't.
Listen, we're having kind of a time.
Listen, it's been a. What if everybody just
stop yelling?
Give me a break. But with your permission, my lady.
Yeah.
I will just jump into it.
Please.
Okay.
Jump right in. Splish splash, bitch.
We're taking a bath.
It's been a time. Stop yelling.
Once there was a padishah, which is like a king or an emperor. It is a leader of a country, presumably the country of Turkey. Mm-hmm. And the padishah had 3 daughters. Their daughters were aged 40, 30, and 20.
Okay. Did they all have the same mom?
Mm.
Okay.
But none of them were married.
Okay.
Yes.
Good for them. Independent women who are old enough to make their own choices. Love this story so far.
Yeah. We love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry. It'll get worse.
They usually do.
The 40-year-old daughter went to the 20-year-old daughter and forced her somehow to write a letter to their father.
Okay.
And the letter says that the 20-year-old is not going to be as patient as her sisters.
Okay.
She is not going to wait until she's 40 years old to get married. She's going to get married sooner. So you better hop on board, Papa, because this train's getting married.
Okay, so is this positing that the dad is the one they can't get married unless their dad facilitates it, and he just hasn't done that for any of his daughters?
Unclear.
And that they're like, if the youngest one says, I'm going to do it, then it forces him to find husbands for the older ones because they have to go in order?
Potentially.
Okay, well, in that case, honestly, if they're like, hey, I need to like get my life started and I'm 40 years old, like, yeah, get on it. Force that 20-year-old to get married. We're playing Russian roulette with your youngest child.
So the Padisha receives this message from his 20-year-old daughter, and he's like, you know what? She's right. It's time. He gives each of his 3 daughters a bow and arrow. He tells him to fire the arrow, and wherever the arrow lands, that will be who they marry.
Oh my God. Whoever you shoot.
Yeah.
You better hope you get a toe.
So the 40-year-old daughter shoots, and her arrow lands in the palace of the vizier's son.
Okay.
So she marries the vizier's son.
Okay.
Seems...
Nice match.
Sure, yeah.
And also, how old's he?
I assume an appropriate age.
I hope so.
Let's just assume.
Let's hope.
Let's just go ahead and assume.
Yeah.
The 30-year-old daughter shoots her arrow, and it lands in the palace of the Sheikh-ul-Islam's son.
Okay.
Which is also a very good match.
Yeah.
She marries the Sheikh-ul-Islam's son.
Okay.
The youngest daughter, the 20-year-old, fires her arrow, and it lands in the house of a woodcutter. Okay. And everybody's like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Ew.
Let's try that again.
Fucking gross.
Nasty. So they have her fire the arrow again, and it lands again in the house of the woodcutter.
Hey, turn
and
around,
they're like,
do another direction.
Okay, but for real, we're not doing that, so try again. And she fires the arrow a third time, and once again it lands in the house of the woodcutter.
Has she tried going like slightly to the left or right?
But it becomes clear that fate has determined that she shall marry the woodcutter.
Got it.
Her father, the Padisha, is furious.
Well, he should devise another way of finding his daughters a match. Like maybe meeting somebody and saying, you're a good match. Do you want to marry my daughter?
Yes.
Or letting her go to college and meet somebody naturally.
Or just letting her decide for herself who she's going to marry.
Hey, Max. Whoa. You realize you said she.
I did say she.
Several times.
That was my mistake.
Please remember who you're talking about. Women can't be trusted.
Oh, God. Her father is furious that she is set to marry this woodcutter. He says that it is because she's impatient. Because she wrote him that letter being like, I'm going to get married like soon. He's like, your sisters waited a nice long time and now they have good matches and you didn't want to wait. And so now you have to marry a woodcutter. And that's your fault somehow.
This is a flawless system that you're abusing by being an impatient bitch.
And now you have to marry someone you hate. So
she's like, I don't like hate him. I don't know him. I might just be bad at firing arrows.
Maybe.
Or maybe he has a big magnet. Is my arrow metal?
I love the idea of a woodcutter with a giant magnet for just in case. He's like, this is going to catch me all the dames.
If anybody fires one of those fiancé arrows, I'm going to get it. Also, just on a whole other note, you think he's pissed? He's got all these holes in his house. Oh, fuck. Somebody stop throwing arrows at me. Jesus Christ.
Imagine if that's how you find out you're going to get married. Just like a hail of arrows lands on you.
I do.
Wow. Every boy dreams of the day that a bunch of arrows fly through the window and light in the middle of their house.
Yeah.
Probably on fire. So everybody is furious about this, but there's nothing to be done. And so the princess marries the woodcutter.
Mm-hmm.
They are reasonably happy, but very, very poor. Eventually, she gives birth to a daughter, and she weeps and weeps over the cradle because she's like, my daughter's been born into such poor circumstances. She'll never be happy.
Mm-hmm.
At this, 3 fairies appear.
Okay, good.
And they deliver blessings upon the girl. The first fairy comes up to the little baby girl and names her Rose Beauty.
That's a bad name. Let me name her. Her name was going to be Patricia.
Sharon.
I like Sharon. Rose Beauty makes no sense.
She names her Rose Beauty, and she announces that when this baby cries, she will cry pearls.
No.
It sounds like it'd be painful.
Yeah. Maybe they turn into pearls as they like fall. That'd be okay.
That'd be okay.
But also, like, I feel like that's kind of a choking hazard for a little kid.
Yeah. It does seem like it would be.
And is it just the tears that come out of her eyes? Because when you cry, a lot of
what
snot
about the tears
comes out
the...
as well to block your nasal passage.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have many concerns about this.
Yeah, me too.
So that is the first fairy. The second fairy announces that every time this baby girl smiles, roses will bloom around her. And the third fairy announces that everywhere that this baby girl steps, beautiful green grass will grow. And the 3 fairies deliver these blessings and then disappear.
The woodcutter's like, how do I mow the inside of my house? Oh, God.
And so with the fairies' blessings, this little girl grows up to be very, very beautiful and kind and happy. Every time she cries, pearls come out. Every time she smiles, roses bloom. Every time she walks around, beautiful green grass springs up. So everywhere around her house looks like a beautiful garden.
Mm-hmm.
And stories of the beauty of this young woman spread very far. When she turns 12...
Uh-oh.
The mother of a prince hears about this girl who is so, so beautiful and who has these sort of magical things associated with her. And she determines that her son, the prince, is going to marry Rose Beauty.
How old's he?
It's not stated.
13, maybe?
Hope so.
13's okay.
Hope so.
12 is okay, too.
Yeah, 12 would be best.
Yeah. And then they don't actually get to be together until they're 21.
Yeah, that would be good for me.
That'd be pretty good for me.
Yeah.
That'd be fine.
Yeah.
It's probably that, right?
Probably that.
And meanwhile, she goes to college.
But the prince's mother hears about Rose Beauty and determines that her son will marry her. In the meantime, Rose Beauty is dreaming of a prince who she will someday marry, and it's this prince. And the prince is dreaming of the girl that he will marry someday, and it's Rose Beauty. Mm-hmm. They're dreaming of each other.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Love it.
Yeah. Match made in heaven. Absolutely perfect.
Sure, because they're both 12 years old.
Nothing can go wrong.
Yeah.
The prince's mother encourages the prince to go and seek out Rose Beauty, but he's very shy, so he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Which makes me think that maybe they are on the same age.
Yeah.
But eventually his mother goes to one of the palace dames, the women of the palace, like one of the like lower nobility.
Yeah.
And she asks her to accompany her son on his quest to go and find Rose Beauty. Mm-hmm. So this woman and the prince set out together to go and find Rose Beauty. After a long trek, they finally find Rose Beauty in her woodcutter's hovel with her mother and father. The prince immediately drops to his knees and asks for her hand in marriage, and she agrees. And they embrace, and then he goes back home, and she prepares for their wedding. Now, the problem is that this woman from the palace is of, like, relatively high birth. And she has a daughter of her own who's about the same age as Rose Beauty.
Uh-oh.
And who actually kind of looks like Rose Beauty.
Uh-oh.
And who is way better suited to a prince in terms of station.
Okay.
And so she's kind of mad that Rose Beauty, like this just poor woodcutter's daughter, is going to get to marry the prince when her own daughter gets...
Nothing.
And, like, her own daughter is almost as pretty as Rose Beauty. Yeah. And, like, they kind of look alike. So, like... maybe the prince is forgetful.
No, but also, what about the magic?
Maybe he can't tell the difference. Maybe
he can tell when magic's happening.
Maybe he can't. Maybe he won't notice.
Why would you fuck around with somebody who's blessed by fairies?
Maybe nobody will notice.
Uh-oh.
So she hatches a plot.
Okay.
She goes to Rose Beauty's house in a carriage to pick her up for the wedding. And Rose Beauty is all dressed in her wedding day dress. Mm-hmm. And the palace woman helps her into the carriage and then gives her a bunch of salty food.
Okay, great. Great, love it. Thank you.
And then some time passes and Rose Beauty is like, wow, I am thirsty.
Uh-oh.
My goodness. I'm so thirsty. And the woman's like, wow, well, I guess you should have brought a water bottle with you then. And Rose Beauty's like, wow, I am like parched. Oof, I am in physical pain from how parched I am. And the woman's like, wow, sucks to suck, I guess.
Maybe you should stop eating those chips. She's like, well, don't get crazy.
Listen, let's be reasonable. And finally Rose Beauty is like, okay, I'm going to have to go to the hospital if I'm not if I don't get something to drink soon.
Fucking amateur hour over here.
Yeah.
She's have been training for this like I have.
Salt is traditionally something that only the rich have, so she's probably not used to it.
I am quite wealthy.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, everyone
rich
knows.
in salt.
I'm rich in one thing. And it's salt content. I'm bloated as hell.
So Rose Beauty is like, I need something to drink now or I'm going to pass out.
Yeah.
And the palace woman is like, oh, well, I have some water here for you. And Rose Beauty's like, oh my God, thank God. Why didn't you say something earlier? And the woman's like, well, I'll give you some in exchange for one of your eyes.
Oh, horrific.
Yep.
Why? Okay.
So Rose Beauty is like, that's ridiculous. I'm not going to do that. Mm-hmm. But then she starts cramping. And her whole body starts shaking. Mm-hmm. And she starts to feel like her stomach lock up and her vision starts going blurry. Mm-hmm. And she realizes that she is like salt poisoned, basically.
Yeah.
And so eventually she's like, all right, fine, I'll do it. And so she plucks out one of her own eyes.
Oh my God.
And she gives it to the woman. And the woman gives her a single sip of water. And then takes the water away again. And Rose Beauty is like, well, I'm still thirsty. And she's like, well, I guess that's a you problem.
Rose Beauty, get out of the carriage.
Yeah, more time passes.
Tuck and roll, girl.
And Rose Beauty is like, I need more water or I'm not going to make it to the prince.
Yeah.
And the woman's like, well, you know the price. And so Rose Beauty plucks out her other eye.
Oh my God. Max, this is a horror story. I wasn't expecting this.
Yes. And gives it to the woman. And the woman gives her another sip of water. And so now Rose Beauty is totally blind. And the woman has both of her eyes.
And boy, does she got a headache.
I would too, man.
Huh.
My God. Now that Rose Beauty is blind, it is very easy for the palace woman to overpower her, tie her up. She binds her up in a basket. And then she takes the basket to the top of a mountain and leaves it there. She takes her wedding dress and she goes back down to the carriage. And the carriage meets up with her daughter. She dresses her daughter in the wedding dress and they proceed on to the wedding.
She probably has so many pearls to sell too. Oh, God.
Mm-hmm. So the woman presents her daughter clad in the wedding dress to the prince. They get through the whole ceremony and she's wearing a veil the whole time. So nobody, obviously, the prince is the only person who's seen her and he's mostly seen her in his dreams. And they finally get to the point in the ceremony where he lifts the veil to kiss her. And she doesn't look quite like he remembers, but it's like close enough that he's like, probably just a trick of the light. You know, maybe she like washed a little extra or something. Maybe.
All right.
I don't know. Maybe.
But is she sprouting flowers everywhere? Because you saw that.
Presumably, she is not smiling or crying.
Yeah, but is she walking?
I suppose not. So he's suspicious, but there's nothing that he can do. So he goes ahead with the ceremony and he keeps his suspicions to himself that perhaps this is not Rose Beauty. And he's like, how long can it take for me to like figure out that it's not? Like, eventually she's going to have to smile. And
before
then
you
roses
say
won't
I
bloom.
do, just be like, one thing real quick. Tickle, tickle, tickle. Yeah, fuck you. You're not Rose Beauty.
But the ceremony goes ahead and they are married. Meanwhile, Rose Beauty is bound up in a basket at the top of a mountain,
Naked.
crying her eyes out.
Okay.
The basket is rapidly filling up with pearls.
Also, no, she's not. She's already had her eyes out. There's no way she can cry them out right now.
She's crying her eyes holes out.
Ew! Filling up her eye holes with pearls.
Ugh. A horrifying image. Thank you for that, Janey.
You're welcome. Now replace the pearls with eggs.
No. No. I don't want to do that.
Imagine.
No.
Imagine.
I don't want to.
I demand it.
I really don't want to. That's very upsetting to me. A scavenger is exploring around on the mountaintop, and he's looking for little bits of things that he can use to eat because he has nothing at his home to feed himself.
Mm-hmm.
So he's looking around and he hears the sound of crying and he calls out and he's like, is that some fairy that I hear? And Rose Beauty calls out and she's like, no, I'm a human. I'm just sad. And so he tracks her down to where she is. He lets her out of the basket. He wraps his cloak around her and takes her back to his house where, because he's like alone and he doesn't really have anything going for him, he gives her what food he has.
Aww.
And he effectively adopts her as a daughter.
That's nice.
Yeah. For months afterwards, Rose Beauty lives with the scavenger and she cries and cries constantly over the loss of her eyes because there's nothing that she can do to help the scavenger. There's nothing that she can do to try and get back home.
Except to cry pearls.
Yeah.
Which gives him money, and also people will start to be like, hey, there's another girl who cries pearls. Interesting. This is very useful for her.
Eventually, though, the scavenger does realize that he can sell the pearls, and so with her consent, he goes and starts selling the pearls in town.
Love this guy.
Yeah. The story doesn't qualify that it's with her consent, but I choose to believe that it is.
Okay, love this guy. Asterix.
Yes. Love this guy that I am describing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And with it, he's able to buy enough food to feed the both of them through the winter.
Mm-hmm.
Spring comes, and the flowers start to bloom. And Rose Beauty sees the flowers blooming.
No, she doesn't.
No, she smells the flowers blooming.
Yeah.
And for the first time in a very long time, she smiles.
Huh.
And a beautiful red rose blooms out of the ground next to her.
Mm-hmm.
This is a magical rose because she's a magical girl.
Yeah.
She plucks the rose and she gives it to her de facto father, the scavenger.
Mm-hmm.
And she tells him, take this rose to the palace and say that you have a rare rose to sell for the price of a human eye.
Okay.
So the scavenger does. He takes the rose into town and he starts to call out and he says, a rose for sale, the only one of its kind in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true. It is the only one of its kind in the world because it's like early spring.
Mm-hmm.
It's not time for roses.
Yeah.
Roses are not blooming at this time.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't really find one anywhere. The mother of the new princess hears this and she's like, that's perfect. I bet if I can get this rose to my daughter, then she can use it to convince the prince, who seems a little suspicious, that she's actually Rose Beauty.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes out and she's like, I would like to buy the rose. And the scavenger says, well, the price is a human eye. And she's like, well, that's fucking convenient.
Oh,
I've got two of them.
totally fine.
No questions asked. She trades over one of Rose Beauty's eyes for the rose. And then she brings the rose back to her daughter, the new princess. Mm-hmm. And the new princess very cleverly sets up a ruse where she the prince makes a joke and she smiles and then she kind of tosses the rose so it looks like it's blooming. And he's like, oh, wow. Okay, so I guess this is Rose Beauty probably.
Yeah.
Because she just made a rose bloom with her smile. So he's still a little suspicious, but a little bit less suspicious.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the scavenger takes the eye back to Rose Beauty and she pops it back in and it works perfectly.
Now she's Mad Eye Rose Beauty.
Yeah.
Mad Eye Beauty. Yeah, we did it, Bam. We did it.
Hell yeah. She pops her eye back in and it immediately plugs right back in and reconnects and works like a charm.
Sure.
And then she's so happy that she can see again, that she is all smiles and more of these roses spring up. And she takes another one. She gives it to the scavenger, and she tells him once again to go to the palace and to sell it for the price of one human eye. Mm-hmm. And so he does. He goes to the palace, and the princess's mother is like, oh, well, this will be fantastic. Like, this will definitely like seal the deal and convince him that this is Rose Beauty. So she buys the rose from him for the price of an eye, and Rose Beauty gets her other eye back.
Horrific.
Yeah. Oh, terrifying. Let's be clear. This is a body horror story.
Yeah.
Rose Beauty is so happy to be able to see again that the whole mountain transforms into a beautiful rose garden with just beautiful lush grass everywhere, beautiful red roses blooming everywhere, like every inch of the mountain. And she is finally happy enough that she starts venturing into town once again. Mm-hmm. One day when she is in town, the princess's mother sees her. And she's like, oh, fuck. I thought that she had been torn apart by wolves years ago.
Fuck.
It's been so long since I left her at the top of that mountain. I just assumed that she was dead. And she realizes that this puts her daughter in jeopardy. Because if the prince ever sees Rose Beauty, he's going to know that something is wrong and that he married the wrong person. And then her daughter's going to be put to death, basically. So she determines that she's going to have to destroy Rose Beauty once again.
Yeah.
She starts to put together, she's like, okay, so there's this magic rose that my daughter has that never wilts, bloomed out of season. It must be Rose Beauty created that rose, which means that the scavenger knows where Rose Beauty is.
Yeah.
So she goes and tracks down the scavenger in his home, and she accuses him of harboring a witch.
Oh, no.
And he is desperate to avoid this accusation. And so he's like, how do I prove that, like, how do I prove my innocence? Like, how will I know if she's a witch so that I know that I'm not harboring a witch?
Yeah.
And
I hope he doesn't betray her. This story sucks. That's her dad.
Yes. And the princess's mother tells him that the way to prove that she is a witch is to ask her about her talisman.
Okay.
And the story explains that a talisman is something somewhere in the world that is home to the magic that makes someone magical, basically.
Okay.
So her magic, the magic of the gifts that the fairies gave her, is tied to an animal somewhere in the world.
Okay.
And if that animal dies, then she too will die.
Okay.
The scavenger goes to Rose Beauty and asks her, what is her talisman? And Rose Beauty is like, oh my God, I thought you'd never ask my talisman. Yeah, totally. My talisman is this like young stag that lives on the mountain near us.
This is our first time hearing about young stag.
Young stag.
Young stag, where you been? What?
And so the scavenger, afraid that he has been harboring a witch this whole time, goes to the palace dame, the princess's mother.
Yeah.
And tells her about the stag. The princess's mother tells her daughter to tell the prince, her husband, that she is sick and that the only thing that will make her feel better is the heart of a young stag from this specific area of the mountain.
No. What are the odds that there's more than one young stag, though? Probably pretty high.
Not good. So the new princess does this. She tells the prince that she's sick. I have a headache.
I really need young stag. Or I'll die.
I need the heart of a young stag.
You know what I could really go for right now? It's really a young stag heart. What do you want some young stag hearts too?
So she tells the prince, and the prince immediately sends out a hunt for this young stag who lives on the mountain. They find the young stag and they kill it. They bring it back to the palace and its heart is prepared for the princess, and the princess eats it. And she's like, wow, I feel all better. Thank you so much.
Yum, yum, yum.
And the prince thinks nothing more of it. Meanwhile, at the same moment that the stag was killed, Rose Beauty fell down dead.
No.
The scavenger quickly puts together what has happened and immediately regrets the part that he has played in this, because clearly he's been bamboozled. You look confused.
No, I'm just looking at you.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
That's my resting face, apparently.
Okay. He realizes that he's been bamboozled and he regrets everything that he's done. He buries Rose Beauty at the cemetery and he mourns her and cries over her grave.
Sure.
But Here's a little something you might not know. Inside of the young stag's heart, there was a little piece of red coral.
Gross.
Yeah. Agreed.
Right?
Pretty nasty.
Yeah.
So when the princess ate the stag's heart, this little piece of red coral fell out of the heart and rolled underneath the stairs in the palace.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is the actual talisman of Rose Beauty.
Okay.
Right?
Interesting.
So in a way, she lives on.
Got it.
A year passes, and the prince and princess welcome a beautiful baby girl. And from the moment that this baby girl opens her eyes and cries for the first time, little pearls come out.
Aw.
And so finally the prince, who has always had his suspicions that he's like, my wife, I feel like maybe my wife isn't Rose Beauty.
Yeah.
Finally, though, his suspicions are assuaged. He's like, well, if she gave birth to this girl who's crying pearls, then obviously she's Rose Beauty.
It's because she ate the stag's heart.
Yes.
Okay.
And every time this little baby girl smiles, roses bloom, and every time she steps, grass grows.
So does she have an animal out there that was born at the same time as her?
Presumably.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
One night, the prince is sleeping and he has a dream. And in his dream, he sees Rose Beauty. And the moment he sees her, he knows that the woman that he has married is not Rose Beauty because he sees her in his dreams for the first time in a while. And she's exactly as he remembered her from his dreams. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, something is terribly wrong.
Yeah.
Rose Beauty appears to him in a dream, tells him that her soul is under the palace stairs. Her body is in the cemetery. And she says, "Thy daughter is my daughter. My talisman is the little coral."
Okay. Rose Beauty, that's not your baby. I feel bad for you for the other stuff.
So the prince wakes up in a cold sweat. Mm-hmm. He runs down to the palace stairs and he looks underneath and he does indeed find a little piece of red coral. Mm-hmm. It's covered in dust. And also probably there's like some paper clips and some Legos and stuff that have been swept under there.
He's like, wait, is that my ID card? Damn it. I had to spend so much time at the DMV for this.
Punch card for sandwiches. Oh man, this only needs one more punch.
Expired.
Damn it.
Who's in charge of sweeping under this stair?
He finds the coral under the stairs. And he's not entirely sure what to do with it, but he knows that this baby has something to do with it. So he brings this red coral and he gives it to his little baby daughter. Mm-hmm. And she takes it in her meaty little fist.
And she puts it in her mouth and chokes to death on it because it's a choking hazard.
She holds it in her meaty little fist and immediately she disappears. Along with the coral.
Whoops.
The 3 fairies that had originally blessed Rose Beauty spirit the child away to where Rose Beauty's spirit is.
Okay, I was like, just to a grave.
To a grave.
Like, be with your mom. Tink.
Tink. They spirit this baby over to where her mom is. Mm-hmm. They bring forth Rose Beauty's body and the little baby drops the coral into her mom's mouth.
Ew. So they did take her to a grave.
Yeah. Yes.
Got it.
And immediately Rose Beauty is revived. Mm-hmm. She gets up and she holds her daughter crying. And at this same time, the prince, having seen his baby disappear, is like, okay, what's the rest of like the shit that she said? My body's in the cemetery. So he runs full pelt to the cemetery. And when he gets there, he sees the 2 of them arm in arm, both of them crying and laughing and little pearls tumbling down their cheeks. So from that day forward, the prince and Rose Beauty were together at last.
Okay.
The palace dame and her daughter were punished in an unclear manner.
Okay.
And the scavenger who saved Rose Beauty came to live in the palace with the prince and Rose Beauty.
He did betray her.
We didn't know what he was doing.
Okay. And
they all lived happily ever after. The end.
Interesting. So I guess this is our first, I don't know if we could qualify this, but it feels like our first folktale that involves surrogacy. Like surrogate birth.
Maybe. Yeah.
Right? Because I was going to be like, that's not your daughter. But then I'm like, it's not like we don't have other people, like, there are people who like pay people to carry a baby to term and then, like.
It's kind of like
I know somebody who's done it.
Non-consensual surrogacy.
Yeah.
But
This is yeah.
It's an ethically questionable one.
It is certainly ethically questionable. I liked a lot of the symbolism in there. Like a lot of the iconography and stuff in that story was really beautiful.
Yeah. I was picturing the paintings of the Virgin Mary holding Jesus.
Yeah.
I think it would be really beautiful to do like an illuminated manuscript style illustration of like that, but specifically with Rose Beauty and her daughter and the like little pearls.
See, I was thinking of an embroidery with like the beads and stuff sparkling on it would be beautiful.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of cool like illustrations that pop into your head when you listen to the story.
Yeah. Really quickly, one of the reasons I wanted to tell this story is because of the opening, which is like a traditional opening that I haven't seen before. So I'm just going to tell you now because I forgot to do it at the beginning.
Okay.
The story opens, in olden times, when the camel was a horse dealer, the mouse a barber, the cuckoo a tailor, the tortoise a baker, and the ass still a servant.
Oh no.
There was a miller who had a black cat. Besides this miller, there was a Padisha who had 3 daughters.
Okay. Tell us more about the miller with the black cat. What?
They're just like, here's some facts, and also, here's the story. Which is kind of like what we do.
Honestly, yeah. Can't be mad about it.
Totally unrelated to the story, but do you guys remember back when the mouse was a barber?
And the cuckoo, he was a tailor. The ass, he pissed someone off. He was a servant. And
whole time.
Oh, speaking of servants, so I was having breakfast this morning. Well, hold on, not the thing. So there's also a Nick Miller. Have you seen New Girl? Really good. Controversial kind of last season because a lot of people didn't like it. Anyway, so there's this once upon a time there was a Patricia. Yeah, classic.
It's kind of what we do.
I liked that a lot.
Yeah.
Good job, Max.
Thank you.
You want to take a little break?
Yeah, let's take a little breaky poo.
Okay, we're going to take a tiny breaky poo and then we will be right back. Goodbye. Okay, Max.
Okay, Janey.
Max, okay. We have a theme today.
Ooh.
I will let you identify when you find the theme.
Is it eyeballs?
It's eyeballs. This is called the eyeballs that were plucked out of our head. Now, I got this book. You and I are both telling stories, I believe, from books that we got at E-Shaver Booksellers, which is my favorite bookstore in Savannah. I love it. And if you come to Savannah, please don't forget to stop by. You can see some really truly beautiful cats. Mm-hmm. It's a plug for E-Shaver Booksellers. Not sponsored. So I got this book, though. It's called Tales of the Night Sky, Stories of Stars from Around the World. It is retold by Corinna Keefe, illustrated by Gabby Verdoren. Beautiful little book.
Lovely. It's like a gilded cover book with really beautiful color illustrations of like almost like a cycle of animals and women.
Like myths.
Yeah.
Very like mythological illustrations.
Mm-hmm. Very beautiful.
Yeah, and it's exactly this. It's stories from around the world. It's not sourced, and, you know, there's no excuse for that in this day and age. But I will tell you the story, and then I'll talk a little bit about where it comes from after.
Okay.
So the story I've chose to tell is called The Little Girl with a Big Voice. It is from South Africa. It begins with, once upon a time, there was a young girl who lived in the veld, the wide, flat grassland of South Africa. She was not very tall or very strong, but she had a big voice.
We all know a kid like this.
Oh, yes, we do. I know like 20.
Yep.
So this little girl had been born with this big voice. And it wasn't just her voice. Everything about her was very loud. When she was a baby, every time she cried, the earth would shake. When she shouted, birds would take flight. And more importantly to the people of her village, whenever she cried, the sky would break open and rain would cover the land. And if she cried too long, it would flood. Because she's a relatable queen, one day she woke up feeling sad. For no reason. She woke up and she's like, I'm sad today.
Same girl. It's January. We're all like that.
It's January. Cold. She just had this awful feeling like something was wrong somewhere. Maybe with her. Who knows? So, quote, she decided she was going to have a really good cry, the kind that makes you thirsty afterward, and let all her feelings out, end quote.
Yeah.
This is the theme. Mm-hmm. It's crying girls.
Oh, crying girls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Girls that cry. And weird things happen. Weird magical things happen when they cry.
Big girls do cry.
Big girls do cry. Thank you, Fergie. Okay, so anyway, while this is a very good idea on a therapeutic standpoint, to cry when you are sad, just a quick note, crying is known to lower stress hormones. It relieves pain. It keeps you healthy. It keeps your eyes healthy, and it enhances your mood. All those things. It can also like strengthen relationships, like on a social level. Mm-hmm. Crying like brings people together. Crying's good.
Crying is good.
So while this is a fact about crying, it was very bad news for her village because the second her tears started to dribble down her face, rain began to fall. And it wasn't really time for that, so everyone was like, "Ah, fuck, what? What's happening? Is that girl crying again?" And then the wind began to blow a little colder, and then thunder started shaking the ground in all the houses, and people were like, "Fuck, no, that girl is crying again." Eventually, she had worked herself up into such a crying frenzy, rain was falling in huge sheets onto the village below. Quote, dogs whimpered and ran indoors. Clothes sagged on the washing lines. Birds were rained out of the sky until they had to run around on land with their tiny feet splashing through the puddles. Farmers working the fields watched in alarm as their tools floated away and their plants began to drown. End quote. Very alarming. Mm-hmm. But as good as crying as hard as you can feel. And it feels really good, guys. You should try it. The little girl did not get to finish her amazing world-ending cry, Max. Because the grumpy woman who lived next door decided to put an end to her nonsense. This woman was feared by all the children in the village. She complained constantly about everything. Relatable queen. She hated noise, and she hated laundry, and she didn't like smoke. She didn't like people. She hated children. You know what? Everything about everything was really annoying. The story says, quote, well, in short, just about anything that happened, she was ready to be cross about, end quote.
We all know people like that.
Yes, we do. And she was super pissed off about this goddamn crying child who was flooding her backyard. So she stomped out of her house, through the mud, past her washing lines where everything was hanging to dry and is now very wet, to where the little girl was sitting, and she yelled, "Shut up! Stop crying! You're making a mess!" And I think that's fair. She said, quote, nobody wants to hear you complaining, which is a pot calling kettle black, considering this lady complained about everything.
Yes.
The little girl looked at her and said, quote, I'm crying. And the woman said, I don't care. Go somewhere else. So the little girl stuck her tongue out at the woman and then ran off. And as she ran through the village, she started to feel a little indignant. She was having a bad day, damn it. Why wouldn't these people just let her have a bad day in peace? They're over here yelling at her, telling her it's her fault it's raining. Just because it's her fault it's raining. God damn it. So she decided, fine, she would go somewhere else. She'd leave the village. She'd run away, Max. She'd live her life out on the veld, and then she could cry as much as she wanted in peace. So she ran to the edge of the village, and then she just kept on walking. She walked and walked past the well, past the fields, through the grass, and eventually she started seeing wild animals. She saw some antelopes who were grazing in the distance, and it got kind of peaceful out there, and, you know, it was kind of nice, and she didn't feel like crying anymore. So she stopped, and she laid in the grass, and she watched birds swoop over heads in the blue sky, and she was really warm, and she's like, oh, okay. Exercise kind of helped. Deep breathing wasn't bad. Being in nature's nice. All right, I guess there are other ways to cope with my big feelings. After a couple of hours, while the blue sky was changing to like twilight and purpley, and the birds were calling out their final goodnight chirps, she was like, all right, I guess it's time to go home. No one had come to look for her, and that's a little annoying, because like, what's a girl got to do to get attention?
Yeah.
Fled the world and run away, and nobody even comes to check to see if she's like, oh, whatever, she's going home. She's fine. She's fine.
It's fine.
Quote, but there were more animals on the veld. Animals that were not so friendly. End quote. Man. Just kidding. No. As the girl stood to go back down the path she had taken, she saw that her way back home was blocked by a pride of lions.
Lions?
They licked their lips, their lion lips.
They licked their lion lips.
And they glared at her, and they put their heads down, and they growled, and their little tails are swishing back and forth. And she, for a moment, just stared back at them in shock. And then she took like a tiny step toward them, and her footsteps sounded as loud as a drum. And then 3 of the lions padded forward a little bit, and their feet were completely silent, making no noise at all. And then her heart sank. The sky was getting darker, and she realized, like, I stayed out too late, and now I'm going to be gobbled up by lions.
I hate it when that happens.
Relatable queen. And as she thought this, she was suddenly overcome with how unfair that is. She's having a bad day. Damn it. A grumpy woman had yelled at her. She'd run away and no one had even bothered to come find her. And now she's going to be eaten by freaking lions? What the fuck? So, outraged, she straightened her back and she started staring at the lions. She's like, you're going to stare at me? I'm going to stare at you. She stared for so long that her eyes started to water, but she just kept staring, Max.
Give him the old stink eye.
At first, she's like, this isn't doing anything. Still staring. But then one of the lions blinked and she's like, ha-ha! So she stared harder. She's fucking pissed. The stare turned to a glare. She let it all build up behind her glare, all that anger and frustration. And the lions started to get a little nervous because they're staring back and they're like, this fucking bitch is crazy. One of them whimpered a little bit and the other ones were like, be cool, Steve. And then another one pawed the ground a little bit. Quote, but the little girl glared and glared and glared and glared and glared. All in capitals.
Intense.
It was too much for this pride of lions, Max. They had come here thinking they'd have a quick, nice little girl snack. And now, this spooky fucking child is glaring at them. That's never happened to him before.
Honestly, if I was going to eat a child,
yeah,
and I, like, came upon a little girl in the middle of the veld,
yeah,
and she just stared me down, I feel like I would be like, fuck this, man.
Not that one. That one's fucking weird. That child will give you indigestion. The story says, quote, they weren't sure what to do, so they did what any lion would do in a tight corner. They decided to hurry up and eat her. End quote.
Sure.
They lunged forward, showing their huge teeth. They were roaring. They were being so intimidating. But the little girl didn't even flinch. She just continued her angry stare. The lions were running at full speed now. Her gaze never wavered. Blue sparks started to appear under their paws. Red flames started to crackle around them and shoot out from their teeth. She kept staring. The lions kept running. Quote, and then, boom!
The lions exploded. The lions exploded?
I had Max read that. The lions exploded!
What did... Why?
They burst into blue and white light. Their bodies disappeared.
Is this a Justin Lin movie?
Bright, burning spheres of light shot out in all directions. They turned into balls of flame that shot into space.
They went Super Saiyan.
So all these little balls of light fixed themselves into space above the clouds and above the moon. And finally, she blinked.
God.
And she was suddenly very, very tired. Quote, you see, she stared at the lions so hard and had been so angry that she had exploded them into stars.
With her mind.
And that takes a lot of energy. End quote. Yeah, sure, fair. Relatable queen. So she went back to her village kind of quickly because she realized now that she wasn't pissed off anymore, but she was super fucking hungry. By the time she made it back, it was pitch black outside and her hunger was an emergency. She saw the smoke from some of the cooking fires outside of the houses as she walked, and she started to smell some delicious food and like roasting roots and stuff, and she was like, that's what I want. Ooh, that's what I want. I want that. I want that. Whatever that is, I need it. So she decided she would go to the first house she saw and ask for some of the food, because it was pretty common in the village to share their food with one another. So she's like, they'll definitely give me a snack. I'm a little girl, and I'm nice.
Sometimes.
Now. I'm nice now. I did explode those lies. Unfortunately for her, the first house she came to was that grumpy lady's house. But beggars can't be choosers, so she went right up and she decided to shoot her shot. She walked up to the woman and she said, quote, please may I have something to eat? I've been gone all day, and I'm not crying anymore. Sorry about this morning. And the woman put her hands on her hips and said, no, go away.
What?
She said, I'm not giving you any of my dinner. I saw you explode those lions. You're fucking crazy. Get off my lawn. And the girl's like, I'm not crazy. I was glaring at them because they were trying to eat me. When you think about it, it'd be crazy to not explode them with my mind. I would never hurt anyone.
Also, you've got a hungry little girl asking you for food, and then you tell her no.
And you know she can explode you with her mind.
And you know she can explode you with her mind, or if she starts crying, she can flood the savannah? Like,
yeah, this grumpy woman doesn't care. The little girl says, I would never hurt anyone. And the woman says, quote, tell that to the lions.
damn.
Fuck you. She says, I don't want to hear it. First you fled the village. You ruined my laundry. And you fill my house with chickens. Which, honestly, that's you. Then you kill the lions. What are you going to do next? Set the sky on fire? And this was working on the little girl's last fucking nerve.
Mm-hmm.
She was so tired and so hungry, and her feet hurt, and no one had been nice to her all day, and some lions had tried to eat her, and she didn't get to finish her cry, and damn it, she was getting angry all over again, and we know she has a temper. So now that she's all worked up, she said, you know what, you grumpy old woman, maybe I will. And she ran up to the cooking fire, and she plunged her hand into the ashes, and she grabbed a fistful of burning ashes and a fistful of the roots that were roasting, and it was all red and white with the heat. And then she threw her arm back, and she flung the burning ashes as far as she could into the sky, and she screamed, quote, I'm having a bad day!
Holy shit.
That's a quote with dashes in between. And the ashes went all the way up into the sky, and they fucking stuck there. They burned red, shimmery, long red trail right through the sky. And the grumpy old woman shrieked, now look what you've done. You've ruined the sky! She screamed for everyone in the village to come see. She said, quote, she's made the sky all messy. She's cluttering it up. Come and look at what this naughty girl has done. And the villagers started to run out of their house because they're like, oh shit, is somebody attacking and murdering that woman? She's screaming so much. They thought they were coming to like the scene of a horrible crime. And the woman was still screaming and raging as they ran up. But then they all kind of like looked up to where she was pointing and they were like, wow, so beautiful. They stopped right where they were, and they gazed up at the glorious new trail of stars the little girl had made. The Milky Way. And they all agreed it wasn't a mess. It was beautiful. They praised the girl for how strong she was. They're like, wow, you got a real good arm. Have you ever tried playing baseball? Like, you're really good at pitching. They were like, also, nice new stars. You're great at changing the sky. Wild. What about that constellation? Lions? That's nice. We like it. Also, no more lions trying to eat us. Win! So the grumpy woman raged, quote, this little girl has caused chaos. She's a disaster. She's just too much. And when no one agreed with her and just kept telling the little girl how happy they were with her art project, the woman stomped into her house and slammed the door. And the last line of the story is, quote, the little girl did get her dinner in the end, after she had told everyone the story of her adventures. And although she still had a big voice and a big temper, she never had quite such a bad day again. End quote.
Aw.
The end.
But that wasn't really a story about how loud her voice is.
Yeah, it's a story about how she could explode things with her mind.
Yeah, it's a story about how she's an elemental being.
Okay, I will say, it's not a story about how loud her voice is. The story is called The Little Girl with a Big Voice. So it's more of you're very loud and you make a big show everywhere you go, and like you kind of leave your mark everywhere you go. It's obviously a metaphor, right? Of like calling little girls too much. So yeah, I don't think it's a how loud you are. It's how big your voice is, which is a different, connotation. Yeah.
I just mean like they're like, oh, she has such a big voice that, when she yells, like you can hear it, and like the
it
early
shakes
description.
The earth. When she's sad, everything rains. It like ruins things.
Yeah.
Yeah. All her footsteps, make the earth shake again. Just a lot of earth shaking.
Yeah.
All right. Here's a couple notes. I do want to talk about that though, but notes about this book. It tells us after every title of the story, it says which country or culture the story is from, but it provides no additional sources. So, and I know Corinna Keefe, she is working on more books. She has another one coming out, and I just, from the bottom of my heart, hope that in the future that's something that you add if you're listening to this, because it's important. You can't retell another country's stories without telling us where you got it from. It shouldn't be allowed. And I think publishers should also, I'm tired of saying this to people. Can you tell I'm getting like annoyed?
Yeah.
You can't just take people's stories. You have to say where you got them from. And if you don't have a firm source, then you also should explain that and explain why you don't have a firm source.
Yeah.
Own up to it. The only reason not to add sources is because you're a little ashamed that you didn't do your research, in my opinion. I do like this book, I'm just saying. From my research, which very minimal, and you can find things on it, Corinna. For my research, it looks like the story is a combination of 2 South African constellation stories. The first being a story from the San people, better known as the Bushmen here, about a little girl who created the Milky Way by throwing ashes into the sky to make a glowing path that people could follow to go home at night. She also threw some roots, which were kind of red and white. So the red ones made red stars and white ones made white stars along the Milky Way. And the second story is also from the Bushmen about the stars on the Southern Cross constellation and the 2 pointers, which are Alpha and Beta Centauri. They explain that the 2 pointers are male lions who were once men, but a magical girl turned them into stars, so that's her exploding them. Mm-hmm. And the 3 brightest stars on the Southern Cross are female lions. And I'm guessing that's the same pride as they were just thrown into this thing. I'm not sure if Corinna Keefe is pulling from a myth where she actually exploded them with her mind, but that's the reason why I would love a source that I could read the story. Thank you. Mm-hmm. It doesn't take away from you having a book.
Yeah.
Anyway, I do want to make a quick note on women being told that they're too much or too loud, because I do think that's the overall point of why she wrote the story like this. There's a quote from a person named Lois Wise that says, "Men are taught to apologize for their weaknesses, women for their strengths." Which is true. And I was kind of looking this up. There was an article by Annie Wright, who's a licensed therapist, where she says women being told they're too much is as much a political issue as it is a personal one. And it's like the whole thing of like everything that polices women is political no matter what. Like every comment about gender is political. You know, it can be personal, but it's also a political issue as well. She says, quote, "Since time immemorial, women's power, presence, and emotionality have often been perceived as a threat by certain institutions and certain populations in power." She points out that today, society, quote, "collectively attempts and succeeds at silencing, objectifying, labeling, and keeping women small. Small in size, don't get fat. Or small in volume, don't be so shrill. Small in accomplishments, isn't being a mother and wife enough for you? Small in financial prosperity, 79 cents for every dollar a man makes," and so on. And that should make you angry, which is important, because if you're already pissed off about that, the next time someone tells you you're being too much, you can tell them to fuck off and find less. So that's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
I got a little fucking fired up.
F you.
F you. That is Little Girl with the Big Voice.
I liked that. That was a really good one.
I liked it too. I love this folktale. It really bothers me. I'm going to show you some pictures. It really bothers me, though, when I have a really fun story that is a great retelling, that I can't enjoy as much because it feels like they're stealing from a culture when you don't source it.
Yeah.
And Corinna, you are from England. You're a white woman from England. You have to source it. Because it's inherently racist to take other people's cultures and publish stories and make money off of them without properly sourcing them.
But these illustrations are gorgeous.
Yeah, this is Gabby Verdurin, and they are absolutely beautiful. This is a fun book to have. Just, ugh.
Yeah, I love these textures.
Yeah.
Really beautiful paintings. The little girl, she's got like her hair pulled back, and she's sitting in a grass field. Yeah.
Yeah, lots of like browns and yellows.
We've got an illustration of a lion that's transforming into stars. It's very cool, very pretty.
Yeah.
We've got the woman who's very sick of her shit, holding a spoon next to the fire. And she looks done. And then we've got an illustration of the little girl with all of the stars around her.
Smiling.
In the Milky Way.
Happy, feeling better.
Yeah.
Yeah, a really nice book to have. Honestly, if you like having these types of books in your house, if you have kids that you want to read to or you like collecting them like we do, this is a great one to have. It's just that somebody write to Corinna Keefe and tell her, source your stuff next time, please.
Yeah.
Or better yet, I'm sorry, don't write to Corinna Keefe. Write to her publishers. Who are the publishers? Let's call them out.
Arcturus Publishing.
It's an English publisher,
Yeah.
UK publisher. Yeah, start writing to publishers about this stuff when you see it, please. I think I'm going to write them a letter. Get myself blacklisted as I'm talking about trying to write a podcast book.
Yeah.
Cool. That's it. Max, episode 172.
In the books.
In the books, quite literally. Next time you guys hear from us, we will be professional podcasters.
Episode 173 is when we finally do it.
It's gonna happen, so get ready for that. If you guys want to see pictures from my story specifically, I'll put it up on Instagram. They'll also be up on our Patreon and in our Discord. You can find all of the links to that in our show notes. We're at Sort of the Story on social media. You can email us all of your thoughts, or if you are an expert in something and you think you have something fun to say in the podcast, email us and we'll see. I can't guarantee that we'll let every single person on, but that is something that I would like to do more and more this year, is talk to you guys. Have your guys' thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers. You can find all of our sources and stuff on our website, or if you have a specific story you would like to look it up on our website. It's sortofthestory.com. And definitely go on Apple Podcasts and give us a 5-star review. That helps us out. It helps us in the algorithm, and it also helps us know how we're doing. Tell us we're doing good. Give us compliments. And if your review is fun, then I'll put it on our Instagram stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I like you. You can also leave comments on the Spotify ones. And every once in a while, I go on and I check the comments, and you guys are so funny. Spotify really lets you, like, play, which I appreciate. But it doesn't, like, promote you as much, I think, as the Apple Podcast one does. So, anyway, that's where I would like you to go. And that's about it. Max, do you have anything left to say?
No, just that we like you.
We like you. And welcome to our relationship, Emma. Thank you for joining on the girlfriend tier. All right, guys, we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
It's hard. I don't know what color scheme I am, because I'm so, like, and I truly think it's just because I'm such a weird mix of every type of ethnicity. Like, it's just all in there. So, like, my colors don't really match each other. I don't think. I'm kind of yellowy, except that my veins in some places are still pretty blue. But also in some places they are pretty green. It depends on where you're looking at on my arms. So when people are like, just look at your veins, I'm like, I'm trying, Brenda.
I think you look best in, like, pastels and...
Really?
Yeah.
God, I don't think that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think there's enough contrast in those. Plus, having green eyes is also a weird thing, because having on the warmer toned green eyes, like more on the brown spectrum, which I do think I have that. I have the brownish yellow green eyes versus, like, the bluish gray green eyes.
Yeah.
But I don't think that particularly matches the rest of my skin tone. And so when you're going off a lot of... I'm just like a whole mix of bad. A whole mix of bad.
I don't think that's true.
I just would love to do a color analysis to see. Anyway, this is interesting to no one. I feel like a more interesting test is needed, but just I don't know my colors.
Yeah. We should do that sometime. Do one of those, like, color things.
Should we go to Korea, guys, and get a Korean color match done?
No, I feel like they do that all over the place.
They do that here, but I don't trust anyone who isn't from Korea doing it, because they started it, I feel.
That's fair. That's really fair.
I'm going to go to the source.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you know how to do your color matching? Can you let me know? And if it's Janey, look at your veins, go fuck yourself. I tried.
My veins are the same way, where they're like, some places are purple, some places are green.
Yeah, maybe that's just how veins work, and everyone's full of shit. Up towards my hands, they're pretty blue, but as you get further back, they're just green.
You have kind of, like, olive-y skin tone.
Yes, and so I thought for a long time, with an olive-y skin tone, a sallowy skin tone, a lot of ways, that it would be warm, right? Like, that I would be a warm color. And then I had a makeup artist be like, no, you're very cool toned. I'm like, am I? Because I'm pretty yellow, Brenda.
I feel like yellow is cool toned, whereas, like, red is warm toned.
Warm toned.
No, red is warm.
Reds and pinks are like cool tones. Pinks and blues. Yellow is pretty warm tone. Yellow like the sun, Max. Like the sun.
No, but, like, red, like...
the sun in China.
Anyways.
Okay, yeah. Is that interesting? Who knows? We'll see.